Alrighty, hello everybody, welcome on back to some more LEGO Marvel Superheroes. This one is going to be for level 5, Rebooted, Resuited, Free Play. Now, you're going to notice a whole slew of things here, but really it's just like all the rest of the levels. You can see we're going to be getting the 10 Minikits and freeing the 1 Stanley in Peril, but you will also notice 145,000 studs for True Believer. We already smashed that in story, but you will know we have plenty of multipliers at this point. And if you've been following along, you will know we just picked up the 6x stud multiplier in the Feeling Fisky level. If you haven't got that, I would recommend you go do it, but you will need 50 gold bricks in order to get it. So if you don't have 50, then, you know, you will have to get the 50 before you can do that. But anyways, select the level there. Also important to note, you will need Sandman and Magneto for this level, so if you don't have either of them, purchase both of them or whichever one you need, but make sure you have both of them before coming in to the level. They're both just unlocked from story, but you will have to purchase them before you can actually use them. But anyways, we're actually going to get this one started with a big chunk of story, so I will just go ahead and mention that there are video links in the description so you can fast forward between collectibles in case you're just in need of one specific collectible or maybe just a couple. We've got video links for all of them, but you know, if you want to hang out and chill for the ride, then that's also an option as well. So, you know, we've got both options. Rather than just skipping straight through to the collectibles, we go through the whole level for those that want to see the whole level, and then we also have the video links for those people that just want to, you know, fast forward to the ones they need. So we're giving you guys the options, but basically I'm just kind of yapping away while we get through some of the story here. Again, a reminder, we do have a story video for all 15 levels in this game already up on the channel and in the playlist, which I do link the playlist for the series in the description of every video. Just, you know, if you want to refer to that, we got a ton of videos up for LEGO Marvel Superheroes that you can go ahead and check out. But anyways, we're going to get started here with Minikit 1. So finally, after a big chunk of story, here behind where that turret was, so make sure you've taken out the turret and gotten rid of the drone inside that room. Go ahead and step up to the glass here and use mind control on Buddy inside there. Then that will actually open up this little kind of garage here on the left here, which we can head inside, and we'll use telekinesis on the 2 tires to place them on the car there. And then we'll use Magneto to manipulate the blue engine in the back, and we'll place that on the head of the vehicle here, which is some sort of like hot rod vehicle there, which is pretty cool. And then you can ride that all the way to the left side of the area where you will pick up the first Minikit. Then we're going to make our way back over here to this side of the area where we were before, and you probably noticed this before, but we kind of skipped it, and we're now going to get to it here now. So you'll notice there are kind of 4 sets of drawers, 2 pink, so use telekinesis on those. Basically, you'll know when you have to use telekinesis because the objects are marked with, like, because they're pink, so that's a pretty good way of knowing when you have to use telekinesis. But then for the other 2 sets of drawers, you have to pull the grapple plug, so use Spider-Man or Miss Fantastic or anybody else with that ability you might have. And then once you've broken open all the drawers, you can build up the parts into an electric generator, which will charge up here as Thor, and then that will cause some robotic arms here to construct the Minikit there in the middle, which is pretty awesome. So we'll pick that up, and that is the first 2 Minikits done, which is actually it for all the collectibles here in this first room. So now we're just going to complete a bit of story. Now I think I can take a little bit of a shortcut and skip actually unlocking the Mark 1 suit, but I can't. So we open up this door here to get into this section where basically a bunch of enemies are supposed to come down the elevator and ambush you, but we did skip one crucial step where we have to hop in here as Tony Stark and get the Mark 1 armor. So just go ahead and do that real quick, and then we'll run back over here, and we will see that the enemies are going to come down now. So for most of this game, you can actually skip big portions of story, but sometimes also the game isn't so generous, and you do actually have to do a bit of the story. But you know, we don't mind either way. This game's really fun, so you know, we don't mind if we have to play a little bit more. But anyways, take out those enemies, coop up some studs. You can see, look at that, we're already at 30 million, and like we've only got 2 Minikits. You know, we're barely out of the first room, and we've already got 30 million. So yeah, I think we end up getting like 150 million in this one. So yeah, I mean the multiplier that we have, the 480, is really good, but combined with like the accumulative multiplier you get for taking out enemies, man, it kind of breaks the game. But anyways, here in this new area in the front, you can see we're going to have to use Sandman there to transform into a trampoline. A trampoline made out of sand. I don't think that's quite how that would work. You know what? I'm not going to question it because it freed Stanley, and also Stanley was barely off the ground, so I don't know. You know, I'm sure he could have just dropped off there and been just fine. But you know what? I'm not going to question it. All right, we freed Stanley. We're always happy to help out Stanley, that's for sure. But anyways, once you've helped him out and freed Stanley, we're going to fly over here to the side of the area, skipping over some of that story stuff, and we're going to make our way outside onto this balcony here, and we're going to fly up top, and where that giant floating red head, which is not Red Skull, it's actually Jarvis. I always thought it was Red Skull, but it's actually just Jarvis, which is like the internal like AI voice in the Iron Man suits, which is pretty cool. But anyways, now you can see here, Minikit 6, 1 out of 5, so we're going to drop down below here, and we're going to melt this gold little hologram here, which is going to be 1 out of 5. Now, if you're a little bit confused about that and haven't checked out any of our previous free play videos, basically, the reason we're saying Minikit 6, 1 out of 5 is because to destroy those 5, once we've destroyed the 5th of those gold holograms, that actually gets us our 6 Minikits. So, before we take out the last gold hologram, we actually get Minikits 4 and 5 in the meantime. So we count it as Minikit 6 because yes, we've started it before Minikits 4 and 5, but we don't actually get the Minikit until after 4 and 5. Basically, it should all make sense, and all the video links in the description should be able to help you out with that. But anyways, in this new room over on the far right hand side, we'll blow up the silver like the silver things holding up the door there, which will cause it to come crashing down, so we can fly up to the top of this area. Well, you're supposed to use like someone who can double jump to jump up the acrobatic walls, but you know, we just decided we'll just fly up because, you know, ain't nobody got time for jumping up the walls. It's a bit time consuming, so we just thought we'll use Iron Man to fly up. And then this is basically the same thing as before. Use telekinesis to break open those drawers and pull on the grapple plugs to break open the other ones. We use Dr. Octopus this time, and that'll actually build up a jukebox, which will cause a disco ball to come down. So we're going to get our disco boogie on, and we're going to dance a little jig, even though we're not even dancing at all. But anyways, some music will start playing and we'll start vibing out, but most importantly, grab the Minikit in the middle once it's appeared. Then over on the right, you'll notice the second gold hologram, so go ahead and melt that with Iron Man or Human Torch or anybody else who can melt gold. I believe those are the only 2 characters we have at the minute. Oh, Galactus as well, he would work. But then we're going to drop back down below here onto this kind of balcony ledge here, and you'll notice a strength handle along the back, so pull that as the Thing or as Hulk, or even Venom there would work as well. The Big Fig version of Venom, you will have to transform from the regular version into the big version, but rip open that strength handle, which will reveal a motorbike, which there's really no point driving it because you're literally just on a really small balcony, so can't do much with that. But yeah, that's pretty cool. We're riding a motorbike and like a hot rod car in this level, which is actually pretty cool. But anyways, most importantly, rather than riding the motorbike, make sure you grab the 5th Minikit. Then we're gonna deflect this double-edged beam, I guess, like double-edged sword, but double-edged beam. I don't know if that works. But anyways, just go ahead and deflect the beams back at the blue pads like you did in story, and then we're gonna make our way up the stairs here, and in the kind of right side, in that little small alcove, you will notice the third gold hologram, so melt that. Then, once we get into this new room, you will notice the 4th one is over there on the right. But before we can actually get to that, we have to deflect the beam at that turret, shooting the laser at you, and then you can go ahead and melt that. I mean, you could probably melt it before you take out the turret, but I wouldn't recommend it because it'll probably kill you before you actually get to fully melt the gold hologram. And then look at this, we have to use both our characters, but our AI was not smart enough to fly through the area, unfortunately, but luckily it's pretty simple to just switch to characters, even on the other end of the area, which is actually really good, because in some of the older games you have to be like really close to your other character to switch to them, so luckily in this game that is not the case, otherwise that would have gotten a little bit ugly. But anyways, Finally, once we make our way into this room, which, if you remember, this was a really cool part of the story where we transformed into the Mark 42 armor, which has been our favorite character in this game, as I'm sure it is for a lot of people, because, I mean, he's just got the OP rockets and the laser, and he's so good. But anyways, most importantly, melt that fifth and final gold hologram in the back right hand side, which gets you the 6th Minikit, which just leaves 4 more. Now, I could be wrong, and I'm sure you can probably just melt that gold wall in the back as Iron Man Mark 42 rather than getting the armor. But you know what? I decided I was going to do all this story stuff because I was like, I kind of remembered from story, like, this was actually a pretty cool part of the story. So I'm like, I want to relive it again. So once we get the power back on to where we want it to be, no longer hijacked, we're going to step up to the plate here as Mark 1 Iron Man, and then look at this, just like feast your eyes. This is so cool. I know we have it sped up a bit, but that honestly makes it look a bit cooler. All the parts come flying into him, and that just was really cool. I wanted to play that out and see that again, because yeah, that was a really cool part of the story. But anyways, then melt that gold wall in the back and fly up the elevator chute, which will take us into the final area of the level where our final 4 Minikits are. So we've got a lot of Minikits bunched up in this small area. But anyways, we're going to head over here to the back right hand side, and you know how in the previous couple levels I've been talking about how I'm pretty sure Loki can freeze water. Well, here we go. We're just going to confirm it here. So you can see Loki pulls out that ice box, because if you didn't know, Loki is actually a frost giant. Like, he is a frost giant, but he uses his magic to appear as a human. So that's just a little bit of Marvel lore for all of you out there that didn't know that. But anyways, freeze that water, which will create a little chest with a Minikit inside it. Then over here on the kind of back middle, maybe back left side of the area, if you will, you have to use telekinesis on that rope there, or chain, to cause the bell to go ring, and we use Galactus for that. You can use Jean Grey if you wish, or Loki even would have worked, so we could have stayed as Loki. Then the 9th Minikit, real simple over there on the left, just go ahead and pick it up. You don't even have to use anybody specific, you can just run over there and jump and pick it up. But you'll notice for Minikit 10 you can probably see what it is, but up top there are 3 little like lights there. It kind of remind me of like the Batman, like in Batman when they like send the light into the air and it's like of the bat symbol. Like, that's what that reminds me of. Like, it's those kind of lights that would just like shine into the skyline. But you'll notice 3 blue ones up top there. That is going to be how we get Minikit 10, but you can feel free to try. But if you try to fly up there right now, you won't be able to get up there. It'll kind of stop you. But that means we just have to progress a little bit with the boss fight here, and we do have this sped up a ton because, well, I mean, even though we already covered in story, I mean, this is really simple. You just have to take out all the enemies, and then the Mandarin is going to come in, mind control you, switch to your other guy, and then take out Mandarin, and then you'll be able to then take out Ardris Killian, so just do that 3 times, and then Mandarin's going to hop in the Hulkbuster armor, and this is where we can get Minikit 10. So once the Hulkbuster flies down here, that's when we can fly up top here to this higher balcony. Again, you can feel free to try and get up here early, but you won't be able to. At least I couldn't. Like, I mean, maybe you can, but I just don't think you can. But you can see here on this lower balcony, still higher than where you were, but slightly lower than this one up here. There are the first 2 lights, and then the 3rd one is right up here on this higher ledge. You can fly up there, but you can still... We wedged ourselves in the corner and got up as Magneto, who has this really cool hover ability where he goes in like a holographic blue metal, or I don't even know what it is, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, it doesn't allow him to fly, unfortunately, but he can still hover with it, which is pretty cool. But anyways, now we're just going to finish out the level once we got that final light manipulated, and yeah, so that's it for all the collectibles. If you are just here for the collectibles and that was your last Minikit or whatever, you can feel free to go ahead and head over to the next level, whether that be level 6 or 7, or maybe a later level, or maybe this was your last level, I don't really know. But if you're watching this as I'm releasing it, I obviously haven't done level 6 just yet, but we will get there soon enough, don't worry. And who knows, you might be watching this way later down the line when all the LEGO Marvel videos are up, and a bunch more future series are up as well. Who knows? But anyways, we're just filling time as we defeat the Hulkbuster. If you remember, Jarvis calls in the House Party Protocol, which sends in a ton of Iron Man armies to just blast down the Hulkbuster here. And man, the Hulkbuster can take a lot of hits. Jeez. But anyways, once Hulkbuster has taken out all your Iron Man armors, you can build up the parts here into a massive generator, which will throw Cap's shield into, and then that'll cause the Hulkbuster to be pulled down here. Now here's a little bit of a kind of fail moment. Well, I wouldn't even say this is my fault. This was just a really bad, like, yeah, so if you've played this game, you could probably understand my pain, and it's a good thing I got this sped up, or else this would be even more embarrassing. But I'm trying to use Iron Man to aim his laser at the gold, the small gold piece on the back of the Hulkbuster, but it just was not working for a while, so it took us a minute. It took us, well, okay, I was going to say more than a few minutes, but it didn't actually take us a minute. It took us maybe 30 seconds. It took us longer than it probably should have, but I mean, it was a really tricky angle to hit it right. But once you've hit it, that will finish out the level, which, I mean, you could have saved and exited as well, if you wanted to, rather than trying to finish that out. But we finished it out because that's just how we roll. But you can see there stacked up a ton of studs. You can see what, over a quarter of a billion, sorry. And if you didn't know, there is an achievement for actually collecting 1 billion studs. So we're going to be getting that probably in a couple levels time. As of I have recorded some later levels, but I haven't got the achievement just yet. But it's only going to be a matter of a couple levels before we get there. But anyways, we did rack up the 10 Minikits and get the Stanley in Peril. But yeah, folks, that's just going to wrap it up for this one for level number 5, Rebooted, Resuited, free play. We got through the collectibles. This was a bit of a longer level. It had a lot of story elements, especially at the end with that boss battle. I think that was like a total of probably like 4 minutes, but not to worry. But yeah, that is going to go ahead and wrap it up for this one. We are cruising through the free play. We're now a third of the way through the main levels in free play, which is actually pretty good. We're making some steady progress. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, if you did find this one helpful, a like would certainly be appreciated, or if you liked it, or if you enjoyed it, a like would certainly be appreciated. Also, feel free to subscribe, comment, and until the next one, I will see all of you later. So everybody, bye.